The day of discharge, the day of admission, is the time that the patient was admitted to hospital. As I mentioned earlier, it's written here as 4:18 p.m. I would qualify that, Your Honor, that we must understand what admission date and time.
No, my Lord, that's exactly what the law says the witness can't do.
Yes, that one can't do.
I can't explain.
Can
No, Your Honor,
what you should try to avoid is any interpretation of the document outside the document.
No problem. Admission time 4:18 p.m., 17th October 2024. Discharge 20th November 2024, 1:36 p.m.
Okay, under paragraph 4, there is a timing of 3 p.m. What transpired at that time?
3 p.m. is the time of admission that the patient arrived in a hospital and was duly attended to.
Just a clarification, 3 p.m. and there is the 4:18.
That's what I was going to, and I was stopped from saying, Your Honor.
Please clarify this.
If I'm allowed.
What happened at 3 p.m.? What happened at 4:18?
Exactly, Your Honor. That's the
My Lord, we still retain the objection. It is in black and white in the Evidence Act. If it is in the document, no amount of oral evidence from this witness can be admitted for purposes of adding, subtracting from, clarifying, or all these things is now purporting to.
Your Honor.
Let me rephrase that, Your Honor, and because the times you've read them out, when did you see the patient? What time did you see the patient?
3:25.
As per paragraph 4 of your affidavit.
Yeah.
What time did you see the patient?
Approximately 3 p.m.
Okay. What time was the patient admitted to hospital?
At that time that I talked about.
Which was?
3 p.m. But on the paper here, and you must allow me to clarify, because you have to understand why that date is there, why that time is there. That's why we are here, to explain to you the discrepancy between 3 and 4. Your Honor, if you allow me, I have an answer to that.
Just answer what she asked you, what the counsel asked you.
Yeah. Answer. Proceed.
The discrepancy is because as one comes to hospital, that is not admission. Admission is when the technical details are entered in the admission papers after all other factors have been taken have been taken of the discharge summary, typing, printing on the computer is done by either the medical officer or the registrar or the intern. In this one, it was done by Dr. Sarita. But the consultant overreads what has been seen there and signs that is correct. So it was prepared by Sarita, by signed by me, Dr. Daniel Konya.
Okay, thank you very much. Still on page 4 of 4 of DKG3 annexure, which is the discharge summary. What did you mean by the follow-up, that ongoing review, follow-up?
I believe in medical terms, what we mean by follow-up when you are discharged from hospital is that although you have been treated, there are issues that need to be followed up. How are you faring? We actually, at the current hospital, actually call patients at home and ask them, you were discharged last week, madam, how are you faring? But in more than that, we give you an appointment to come back, just to make sure what we did was correct and you are feeling better, and if anything needs to be done, and then most of the time, you actually need almost a lifetime follow-up.
Okay. Is annexure marked DKG3 to your affidavit true and accurate copy of the original discharge summary?
Your Honor, it is.
I'll go to the last bit. During the period the first petitioner was under your care, what communication, if any, did you receive regarding his condition from anyone?
Well, Your Honor, there are always follow-up calls from relatives, parents, and friends. And in this particular case, Your Honor, I must be honest enough to specify that I did receive a call from our president asking about the status of the patient, and they responded accordingly.
What did you communicate in response to that inquiry?
Well, the first time, Your Honor, I just said that we are in the process of doing various tests, and as soon as we have a conclusion, we shall let it known.
Okay.
But if Your Honor, you must allow me to say this, that when I said that, I had to seek clearance from the patient that it was okay so to do, which he gave me permission.
Okay, very well. On my second last question, please refer to paragraph 10 of your affidavit. Paragraph 10 of your affidavit. And annexure DKG4.
Yes, Your Honor.
And tell this honorable court the relevance, if any, of the annexures in relation to your testimony.
You know, Your Honor, during this hospitalization, this hospitalization for reasons that happened that time became a public issue, and there were public notices in newspapers and television services covering the issue.
Okay. Lastly, please refer to paragraph 11 of your affidavit, and in summary, what you'd like this honorable court to understand regarding the first petitioner's admission and treatment.
Your Honor, I have only one statement to make, and that the Honorable Gachagua was admitted to hospital on the date so specified and discharged on the date so specified and treated according to the statutory medical practices.
Thank you very much. That is all, my lord.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Movomi. I think we know each other.
Lovely. Nice to meet you in these circumstances.
I will ask you a few questions
I'll be
on
pleased to
behalf
answer.
of the respondents
Thank you, sir.
and the second interested party who is the party I represent in this case. For the record, please confirm that your affidavit is dated 28th of April, the year 2026.
That is correct, Your Honor.
You will agree with me, sir. This affidavit has been made 1.5 years after the events described in it. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
It's correct. Was this affidavit placed before the Senate?
I wouldn't be aware because it didn't exist that time. This request has come now.
The request has come now.
Yes.
You don't believe, sir, it is bizarre that a request of this nature in a case of this nature will be made 1.5 years down the line? Would you agree with me? That's bizarre. It's not natural.
Sir, I don't know the proceedings in court for those issues.
Fair enough. This affidavit has attached some medical records, Exhibit 3. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
That exhibit, was it placed before the Senate?
I wouldn't be aware, sir.
You are not aware. But you will confirm whichever date we take from the multiple dates on it. These are again events that this document was available about 1.5 years ago by the date given this of 17th October, isn't it?
I mean, yes, that's...
You have to agree this document was available.
Yes.
You also have to agree that with due diligence, this document would have been placed before this honorable court about 1.5 years ago. True or not?
No opinion, sir. I don't know.
No opinion, fair enough.
Yes.
You have now attempted to explain a discrepancy between paragraph 3 of paragraph 4 of your affidavit. It talks of 3 p.m.
That's correct.
But exhibit 3 at the top right talks of 4:18 p.m.
About an hour difference, yes, sir.
You agree that's a discrepancy on its face? On its face, without more looking at it, is there or is there no discrepancy?
None whatsoever, sir.
Are you saying 4:18 p.m. is the same time as 3 p.m.?
There are different times for different...
There are different times. Therefore, you agree with me, sir.
But could the witness be given the opportunity to complete answers to his questions without being cut short?
Dr. Gikonyo, is it your testimony that the time 3 p.m. given at paragraph 4 of your affidavit is the same time given as 4:18 p.m. in the medical record?
They are different occurrences.
They are different times.
Occurrences. They are not the same thing we are describing.
Okay. This explanation you are now offering on the witness doc, is it given anywhere in your affidavit? The explanation for the discrepancy, is it set out anywhere in your affidavit?
It should be understood.
No, the question is it set out anywhere in your affidavit? That explanation you are now offering in court.
Not there because...
It is not there.
It was never raised. Otherwise, I would have given an answer if it was raised.
We are here to raise it, unfortunately.
And we are giving an answer.
Let's stick to that page 104. Dr. Gikonyo, you have to agree with me that we identify individuals in Kenya by reference to their national identity card or passport number. Correct or incorrect?
Depends on the purpose, sir. In my class, they call me DK.
Does this document indicate the identity card of the patient being attended to? Does it indicate the identity card number? National identity card number. Either it does or it does not.
We have the client's ID number in
That's
the
not
record.
my question, sir. My question is, on its face, does this document disclose the national identity card of the patient it describes?
Deliberately not.
Good. Does it indicate the travel passport number of the patient?
Deliberately not.
Good. Deliberately not.
Yes.
Very good answer. Does it give the patient's name?
Deliberately not.
Therefore, you have to agree with me, sir. A document that does not contain the patient's name, does not contain the patient's national identity card number, does not indicate the passport number. We have no way, based on the document, of ascertaining who is the patient described in that document.
We do have. We can ask the person who prepared it.
No, the person on the doc is you. Does this document on its face, sir, disclose the identity of the patient described there?
Only by initials, RG.
RG,
Yes.
which could mean anything, isn't it?
To other people, but not to me.
Okay. Fair enough. I put it to you, sir, that you having brought this document to court, you cannot run away from the fact that it doesn't disclose the identity of your patient.
Deliberately so when it was prepared. But now I can disclose. If you ask me who it is, I'll tell you. RG.
RG could as well be Rob Gitao, right?
Could be, but it is not.
It could be Ruth Gitanga.
It is not. Ask me
I
what
put
it
it
is.
to you, sir, it can be anyone and anything.
In this category, no.
Okay, fair enough.
You can ask me who is RG. I'll tell you who is RG.
The problem, doctor, is we don't believe you. That's why these questions are being asked.
You ask me, why did you write RG? I explain.
It is me who chooses, unfortunately, the questions to ask. So, let's go to that. The title of the document is a medical summary.
Correct?
You have to agree there is a difference between the summary and the primary document.
That's true.
So has the primary document been placed before this court?
I don't know.
Can you see it anywhere in your affidavit? You can take time to flip through.
Not on my affidavit.
It is not in your affidavit. You have to agree with me, therefore, in the absence of the primary document, an independent reader has no way of confirming whether this summary agrees with the primary document.
They can ask the writer who is in front of us here.
No, on the documents, we are dealing with the documents. In the absence of the primary documents, would the third party have a way of confirming whether the summary is accurate?
If that document was adequate in itself, I would not be here. I am here to answer questions pertaining to the document, to say whether it's correct. If it was adequate in itself, you wouldn't call me here.
We actually called you, Dr. Ikonyo, because the document has just too many gaps.
For me
Let's go to the paragraph of your affidavit that talks of the 48 hours to 72 hours.
Correct?
That's paragraph 7 of your affidavit.
Correct, sir.
If that were true, it would mean this patient, and we mean patient RG, whose identity we don't know.
Which I can confirm.
It would mean that this patient would have been discharged on or before 20th October 2024. Correct or incorrect?
Or a month later.
We are following the document, sir. Your paragraph says he was admitted for how long? 48 to 72? Your paragraph 7.
Sir, please read correctly. Recommended.
And when does it say he was discharged?
On the 20th.
Of which month?
Of October.
Of October, good. And what is the discharge date given in the medical summary?
November.
November. That's actually 34 days later.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
You have now attempted in your exam in chief to explain the discrepancy.
Not attempting, I did explain.
Okay. Let's take it you have explained. You have explained while on the witness dock.
Yes, Your Honor.
The discrepancy of 34 days, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that explanation set out anywhere in your affidavit? The explanation you gave this court for that discrepancy?
Yes, this is understood. I have
No,
explained.
my question is the explanation you are now offering 1.5 years later, is it said, show me the paragraph of your affidavit that explains the discrepancy?
It was not required.
It was not required. But for the record, is it given in your affidavit, that explanation?
Not given because not
Good.
required.
It's not given. This summary gives the consultants who are attending to the patient. Can you see that part of Exhibit 3?
I do, yes.
It begins with yourself. Who are the other doctors?
Your Honor, if you allow me to explain.
You can look at it.
I know it, perhaps.
I haven't asked the question for you to explain. You can only answer questions I ask.
I know the names on the list, but I can look at them.
The names given there.
Yes, I can look at them, but I know them.
You know them.
All of them, yes.
Is the maker of this document one of the doctors who are indicated as attending to this patient?
No.
No.
Do you need an explanation
So
for
we
that?
don't have the primary document, and we have a summary made by a person who did not attend to the patient.
Not correct.
Not correct. Is Dr. Sarita, just for the record, indicated as one of the doctors in this summary who are attending to this patient?
She is not a consultant.
My question is she indicated as one of the doctors who are attending to the patient? From the list given at the top, is Dr. Sarita one of them?
Your Honor, I must explain what this list of consultants mean to the audience here.
We are not interested in that. The question is she indicated? Either she is, and Dr. Wade, quickly, if you answer the question, the more we kick about the bush, unfortunately, the longer time will take.
But I can't allow you, sir, to proceed on a misunderstanding.
My Lord, the witness has no...
Excuse me, Dr.
Yes.
You came here to give evidence.
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
answered questions as put to you by counsel.
Okay.
Without any
But if Your Honor,
deviation. Just answer the questions as put to you. If you don't know, you say you don't know. Then we proceed.
And that's how the law works, just for the record.
Thank you. I understand now.
So is Dr. Sarita indicated in this document?
Should you find that there's a need for clarification,
Yes.
they will ask you to clarify.
All right.
Yes.
Go on.
So Dr. Gikonyo, is Dr. Sarita, the maker of this summary, indicated as one of the physicians that were attending to the patient, known as RG? On the face of it, is she indicated in the list of those doctors?
Not as a consultant.
Is she indicated in any other way?
As a preparing, as the one who prepared the document, yes.
That's not my question. Just wait. Is she indicated as attending to the patient in any medical capacity? The maker of this document.
The people taking care of the patient are not listed.
I thought they are listed here, sir, about 6 of them.
Those are the consultants. There are other doctors in the system, medical officers, intensive care doctors, and other people And as I mentioned earlier, we are a teaching hospital.
Is there any material you have placed in your affidavit to show those other doctors and the fact that they were attending to the patient?
No.
Good. In fact, on the document before the court, we have no way of knowing who else other than the 6 given that attended to the patient.
Only by asking the person on the doc.
No, we are talking on the document, sir.
Not on the document, sir.
Good. Let's go to the bottom of that document. Bottom left. That document has a computer timestamp at the bottom left, correct? Bottom left, below prepared by Dr. Sarita.
That is right. 2011, 24, 12:40?
12:40 p.m.
Yeah.
So what is the date and time of this document's preparation as per that timestamp? It is prepared on the 20th of November 2024 at 12:40 p.m. Correct or incorrect?
Right, that's correct.
Now let's go to the opposite side of the page, bottom right.
Yeah.
What is the date and time given? The date you confirm?
20 November 24, 12:35, 19.
12:35. You have to agree those are 2 different timestamps. Correct or incorrect?
That's correct.
You must agree, sir, that it is not possible for this document to have been prepared at 2 different times as it purports to say.
I won't understand why the computer would do that. I would have to check on the computer data.
Unfortunately, sir, you have to agree with me that on the face of it, this is a discrepancy as to the time when this document was prepared. It has 2 timelines. Which one do we take?
I do not know.
Good. You don't know.
I won't add that it would matter.
You have testified that this patient, at the prior history, we go to page 204.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have summarized it there.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you placed before this court any primary documents to prove this alleged prior past medical history?
If required, is available.
No, my question, sir. Have you placed before court any material to show that this patient had prior history of the conditions described there?
None at all, but if
None at all.
If
Good.
required, Your Honor, it's
None at
available.
all.
It's available. I have it on me here today.
Unfortunately, it's you who testified on affidavit on oath, sir, that he has past history. So you have to agree with me then, in the absence of that material on the record, this is just an allegation. We have no way, based on your affidavit, to confirm that the patient described there had this prior history.
You have no way, but if you are interested in knowing, it can be provided.
Doctor, you say you did a number of tests on this patient.
Yes, Your Honor.
Including an echocardiogram.
Yes, Your Honor.
2D. One is called 12 LED and the other one 2D, right?
Yes.
You must agree with me that that machine for echocardiogram generates a report and a graph. Correct or incorrect?
Of course. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Have you in this affidavit attached that graph that the machine generates to show that the patient has the conditions described in the summary?
No, it's not. Available if required.
No. My question is, have you attached to the affidavit the report that the echocardiogram machine generates?
Definitely not.
Good. Have you attached the report that the other machine automatically generates?
Not attached, but exists.
Fine. Have you attached the images that were supposedly taken of this patient?
If I thought they would be useful for this court, I would have attached them. I thought it was not necessary to attach them, but they are available if required.
But you would agree with me that the images and the graphs and the reports would be the primary document evidencing the illness, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Therefore, if that is correct, you must agree with me that this summary, in the absence of those images and those graphs and those reports, cannot be the evidence that patient RG had the conditions described in your affidavit.
Unfortunately, I would not agree with you.
Fair enough. You say he also took some blood tests.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you attached the laboratory report of those blood tests to this affidavit?
If you are required, we can.
No, Doctor, my question
they are not attached.
Have you attached
Deliberately
the
not.
laboratory report of the alleged blood tests?
Deliberately not. Available if required.
So again, based on your affidavit, you have to agree. We have no way of knowing whether there were blood tests or what were the results of any such blood tests.
I disagree. We have a way of knowing. You can ask me, I can produce them.
Page 3 or 4 talks of hemoglobin, platelets, and blood chemistry and other things. Correct or incorrect? Either it does or it doesn't, Dr. Rick.
It does.
Do we have in your affidavit the primary document, that is the laboratory report for all these tests?
Available if required.
No, my question is, do we have it in your affidavit?
Definitely not. They are not there.
Definitely not.
Yes.
In page 404, there is some information there about follow-ups. Have you produced before this